Hello, welcome to Gentle Yoga, everyone. We are actually going to start lying down on the back. So go ahead and transition to lying down. And before we start any movement, we'll take just a minute or two lying on the floor. Legs could be bent or straight, arms wherever's comfortable, and just let your body settle and notice how you're feeling physically. Is your body comfortable? Is there any areas that are speaking to you a little bit? How's your energy level? What's your mental state right now? Is the mind busy or quiet or somewhere in between? Accepting whatever it is at this moment, physically, energetically, mentally. And then let your attention drift towards your breath. And we'll take one more minute here. Using the breath as yet another way to check in with yourself. A few more breaths here. Okay, and then take your arms, upper arm bones in a T-type position, and then let cactus arms fall towards the floor. And a couple of things to note here: if the backs of the hands don't touch the floor comfortably, you could put blocks or pillows or blanket back there to fill in the gap between the floor and your arms or your hands. Or if it feels fine to have them up in space, it's not stressful in any way, they don't have to be touching the floor. Just know if that's stressful at all on your shoulders, maybe put some support in here. Everybody's different with what sort of rotational movement is comfortable in the shoulders here. And just rest here in this cactus position. And turn your head to the left and to the right a couple of times. And just as you turn your head, have your eyes open and notice the position of your elbows. And if you thought they were shoulder height, but maybe they're a little too high or low, if you notice that, adjust the height of the arms. Nice and easy, rolling the head side to side a couple more times. One more each side with the head. Pause, looking straight up towards the ceiling. And arms are still on the floor in that cactus position. And as you inhale, just press the backs of the arms a little bit into the floor. And exhale, slowly close the elbows and the forearms and the hands towards the middle. They might not touch, that's okay. And then inhale, open them back out. Don't move too fast. Imagine you were moving through kind of some thick mud. And we'll do this 3 more times. Exhale, squeeze it. Feel the chest muscles contracting as you close the arms towards the center over the chest and the face. And then inhale as you open, muscles on kind of the back side of the shoulders are contracting to open you out. Pause for a moment. 2 more. Slow squeezing to the center, chest muscles contract. Pause and open. Feel how the chest muscles aren't contracting so much on the opening. They're actually lengthening. Pause when you get your arms out as far as they'll go. And then 1 more time, squeeze slowly to the middle. Pause. Open. And then take your arms and bring them down closer to the sides of the body. Tuck your shoulders a little bit in and down towards your buttock. Now we'll do a few cat and cow tilts here. So just inhale where you're at and exhale, tuck the tailbone, flatten the low back into the floor. It's like you were if you had a tail, you were trying to tuck the tail towards the ceiling. And then on the inhale, breathe into the belly and press the tail down towards the floor. Low back gets a little bit arched on the ground. And that's the movement. Exhale, flatten the back. And inhale, arch the back. Find a size and a pace and a rhythm that feels good. Do this a few more times on your own. One more. Such a simple movement, very therapeutic. And relax at neutral. Take a couple breaths. That movement obviously strengthens the belly, and it also strengthens the muscles in the low back area. Reach your arms towards the ceiling and then grab your elbows. Forearms are approximately up over your chest area. Not too high up towards your face, not too low down towards the belly. So we go for a fairly vertical upper arm bones. Now start to let the arms go to the left and let the head roll that way. And the right shoulder can come as far up off the floor as is comfortable, and then back to the middle. And then the arms go to the right and the head turns to the right. And just do this nice and easy side to side motion with the arms and the turning of the head. Again, don't force your body to go further than feels good to you. To go further, if you're really pushing yourself, is probably not beneficial. So find your sweet spot. One more each side. If you can, the soles of the feet stay grounded and the legs aren't moving much. Kneecaps face the ceiling. One more over to the right side. Back to the center. And relax the arms back out into that cactus position we did before. Tuck your shoulder blades a little bit under. Pause here for a moment. Now we're going to combine that cactus arm position we did before with the arching and the flattening of the back. So just inhale here where you're at. Exhale as you slowly squeeze the arms to the center, engage your belly, tuck your tail, and flatten your low back and squeeze the chest. Inhale, As the arms open, you arch towards the tailbone, you arch the low back, push the arms gently back into the floor. And do that a few times. Exhale, close, squeeze the arms towards the center, flatten the back, engage the belly. Inhale, arms flip back out towards the floor, arching the back as much as is comfortable. 2 more, squeeze to the center, engage the belly, flatten the back. Open, broad through the chest, arch the back. 1 more, squeeze to the center, engage the belly, tuck the tail. Last one, open. Well, kind of last one. We're going to do 1 more round and hold each of them. Exhale, squeeze to the center, tuck the tail, keep the tail tucking, belly stays engaged. Palms of the hands, forearms and elbows press towards the middle. They don't have to touch. Take 2 more breaths here. A little hard to breathe with that flat back, belly contracted. Won't be the biggest breath you've ever taken in your life, most likely. And then start to relax the spine, open the arms slowly, and then press down through the tail, arch the lower back, and take 3 breaths here. Relax the spine to neutral and move your arms down closer to the body. Straighten out the legs. And with straight legs, roll the legs or right and left, out and in a way that feels loose and comfortable. And then pause just for about 3 breaths with your straight legs. Rebend the knees, feet at comfortable distance apart from one another. Shoulder blades tuck a little bit underneath you, arms on the floor. We're going to roll in and out of bridge a few times. So start to flatten the back and then press and roll at the spine. Really feel the rolling action. Pause at the top. And then you start to roll down from the upper back, rolling through each part of the spine until your sacrum touches back down. Pause. We'll do 2 more rolling up and down, and then we'll hold it, rolling up. Feel the way the spine rolls. Pause at the top. Use your core muscles to help you roll down. Pause once the sacrum gets down. 1 more time rolling, and then we'll go up and hold it. Rolling up, breathing freely. Pause. Curl back down. Pause. And then you lift up 1 more time and hold bridge pose. You can just keep your arms grounding on the floor with straight elbows. You can bend the elbows and have the forearms vertical and press down through the upper arms and do that. Or you could interlace your hands underneath you. Any one of those that feels good. You could try them both. 4 more breaths. If you interlace the hands, release them, move the arms out of the way, roll down. Straighten out the legs, roll them. A lot of rolling going on today. Next, find a strap. Bend both knees. Take your strap around the bottom of the left foot. Wrap the strap around the hands in any way that feels comfortable. And then press the left leg straight up towards the ceiling. And as you bend the left knee, you move it a little bit out wider than the torso. So the knee is kind of aiming towards that left armpit area and the floor. And then press the leg straight up towards the ceiling. And bend the knee and let it move a little bit out to the side. So it's basically half happy baby. And go in and out of this a couple more times. Okay, last round, press the left leg up towards the ceiling. Pause here. Take a few breaths, pull the toes away from the ceiling, press the heel towards the ceiling. Notice what's happening with your face and your shoulders and your breath. And then turn this into half happy baby. Bend that left knee, pulling the hands against the strap and taking a few breaths here. And then release the strap off the left foot, switch it over to the right one. Knees bent to start with. We'll do that same pattern on the right side. Press that right foot straight up towards the ceiling. Knee might not get all the way straight. That's fine. Bend the right knee, pull the hands against the foot. Knee goes a little bit out to the right as it bends. And then press all the foot straight up towards the ceiling. And then bend the knee, thigh and knee and foot move a little bit out wide. 2 more of these. Press up. Bend into half happy baby. 1 more. Press up. Bend into half happy baby. And then we'll hold each. Press up. Check your shoulders, your face, pull your toes down, press your heel up, find your sweet spot. And then bend that right knee, angle the leg a little bit out to the side, knee kind of aiming towards that right armpit area. And take a few breaths in half happy baby. And release the strap off the foot, set it out of the way. We'll use it again in a minute or two, so don't toss it too far away from you. Release the hands. Go ahead and rest the elbows on the floor and open and close the hands into fists a few times. And then do a few circles with your wrists. Reverse it. Relax the arms by the sides. Now we're going to do a little bit of a right to left tilting of pelvis lying on the back here. So you push your left foot straight down into the floor. And as you push your left foot straight down to the floor, that's going to tip the pelvis a little bit to the right. And that left side of the pelvis lifts just a little bit above the floor. And that left knee is probably forward of the right knee now. And then release that left side down. Press down through the right foot. Right knee pushes a little bit forward away from the head. Pelvis tips right to left. And then go back and forth with that. So it's not a windshield wiper movement of the thighs going side to side. It's just the pelvis tipping right to left. Not a big movement. Do that a few times. Breathing. One more each side. Okay, relax the member of the pelvis. Find your strap again. We'll loop the strap around the left foot, similar to before. This time you're going to straighten the right leg on the floor and then swing the right leg a little bit out to the right, whatever amount's comfortable. And actually hold on to both sides of the strap with your left hand this time. Now, the left knee is still bent. You let that left knee start to go out to the side with the sole of the foot facing out. And then you press the sole of the foot out to the left wall and bend the knee. And do that a few times, pressing the left leg out to the left to straighten and bend it. So your inner thigh is facing more towards the ceiling. And then pause and hold for about 4 breaths. So you can think about this like triangle pose, but lying down on your back. Keep some energy and action in that right leg, reaching away from the hip and lengthening on the floor. Bend the left knee, bring it back to the center. Bend the right knee, set it flat. Take the strap off the left foot, switch it to the right one. Both sides of the strap in the right hand. Right knee is still bent. Slide the left leg down the floor. Let's get it as straight as you can. And then slide the left leg to the left on the floor. Open the right knee, angle it more out to the right. And then straighten and bend that right leg, pressing it out to the right. Again, your inner leg is facing towards the ceiling this time, which is a different position than we were in before. Straighten and bend that right leg a few times. And then right leg presses straight. Hold it. Left leg is pressing straight on the floor. They might not both be straight, but they're pressing in that direction. Right foot, let it be as far up off the floor as it needs to be. Try to keep your pelvis more grounded rather than rolling a lot to the right. 3 more breaths here. Reclined triangle pose. Start to bend the right knee. Bring it to the middle, set the left foot on the floor, release the strap. Set the strap out of the way. Straighten the legs on the floor, roll them. Relax for a moment. Okay, bend the knees. Just a few more things here lying on the back. Nice, long, loosening sequence lying down. Bent knees, feet positioned for bridge pose. Arms by your side, shoulders tucked under. Now this is going to be a different way of lifting and lowering into bridge pose. So feel free to just watch once or listen to the cues. Push down through your left foot. You start to lift the left side of your pelvis. Keep pushing down. And then eventually the right side will start to lift. And then you level the pelvis when you get to the top. Pause. And then the right side leads on the way down. Right side will touch down first. And then the left side comes all the way down. We'll do that 2 more times, leading with the left side on the up. Pressing down through the left foot. Left side lifts, level at the top. Pause. And then you just hit the rewind button. Right side lowers down first, slowly. And then you relax, pelvis at the bottom. One more, left side leads on the way up. Level it at the top. Right side leads on the way down. Pause and relax. Okay, now we'll do the opposite side. Right side's going to lead on the way up. Push down through your right foot. Right side starts to lift. Left follows, level at the top. Left side lowers down first. Pause, get level at the bottom. Two more of these. Right foot starts to press down. Right side of the pelvis lifts first. Level it off. Left side lowers down first. Pause, relax at the bottom. One more. Right side goes up. Level at the top. Left side goes down. Pause, relax, level at the bottom. Straighten the legs for a moment. Come back to those box arms that we did before. So bending your elbows, grab a hold of your arms, and then you're just going to do circles with the arms. So before we just went right to left. So go ahead and go to the left and then bring the arms kind of up by the forehead and then take them over to the right. Let the head turn the direction the elbows are going. And then the elbows and the forearms kind of go down across the belly and up the left side, across the face, down the right side. Let the head do whatever feels good. Couple more in this direction. Keep your shoulders comfortable. And then pause with the arms, kind of forearms above the forehead, and then go the other way. So you look to the left, go down the left side, cross the belly. Arms start to come up the right side. Head is rolled a little bit that way, across the top. Three more in this direction. Down the left, cross the belly, up the right, across the forehead. Couple more this way. Moving away that feels really good. Okay, relax the arms by the sides. Pause for a moment. Notice how you're feeling. I'm going to do one more bridge pose variation, a slightly different way of coming in and out from what we did before. Rebend the knees. Reposition your pelvis if you need to. Tuck your shoulders down and in, arms on the floor. So we're going to lead with the left side of the pelvis like we did before. But we're going to change how we lower down. So press down through the left foot, start to lift the left side. Level at the top, and then the left side goes down first before we lower down with the right side first. Pause at the bottom. Lift with the left side. Level at the top. Lower the left side first. Pause at the bottom. One more like that. Left side leads on the up. Level at the top. Left side leads on the down. Relax. If your pelvis feels like you got a little off kilter, reposition it to the middle of the mat. Now we're going to do the other side. Right foot roots down. Start to lift the right side of the pelvis. Level at the top. And then the right side lowers down first. Touches down first. Left side follows. Pause. Two more like that. Right side up. And then your level. Right side down. Level at the bottom. One more. All these different patterns work these muscles of the pelvis and the belly and the low back differently. Right side up, level, right side down, and relax. Draw the knees to the belly. Just do a few circles. Let's say 4 circles on your own each direction. Make sure you change direction. Okay, set your feet on the floor, roll to one side and start to come up to standing. Take your time, maybe sit for a moment first. We're relying on the back for quite a while. Once you're up, just kind of shake it all out. Mountain pose kind of stance. Then you're going to start to pedal the feet. So keep the left heel down. And bend the right knee, lift the heel slowly, really bending at that toe juncture. And then lower that heel and slowly lift the opposite heel. And go side to side. A few times pretty slow. We'll speed it up in a second. Again, notice how your feet feel. If you have problems with that mobility in your toes, just be gentle, make it a smaller movement. Then you can let the movement get a little faster if it feels okay. A few more. Then pause both heels down. Bring your feet together. Lift your left foot, cross it, turn the knee out, and set those left toes down on the floor and on the outside of your right foot. Could be a little forward of the foot, that's fine. So you're pushing down through the toes, the heel is lifted. It's a balanced pose. If you need to open your arms out, you certainly could. Position yourself with a chair or a piece of furniture nearby. The leg you're standing on, that's your right leg mostly, knees a little bit soft. Now you can stay here or lift that left foot a little bit up off the floor and push the ankle against the right shin. So it pushes back against the leg you're standing on. If that's not comfortable, keep your toes on the floor. 3 more breaths. Relax the arms, set the left foot back down where it came from. Both knees just a little bit soft. Bend the right knee, turn the knee out, touch the toes down on the outside of the left foot, press down and up, open the arms if you need to. Couple more breaths, keeping those toes pressing into the floor, working on balance and mobility in the ankle here and the toes. Now stay here or lift that foot up off the floor. And again, you're pushing the leg back into the shin of the leg that you're standing on. It engages some specific muscles back in the hips and the legs. Two more breaths. Okay, set that down, lift your knees, swing your arms, march in place for a moment. And next, find a mountain pose with your parallel feet. Take your arms out to cactus. So it's similar to what we were doing when we were lying on the back. Bend the knees. And then on an inhale, you pull the cactus arms back, which you couldn't really do before, and let your back arch as you do that and contract. And then exhale, you squeeze the forearms towards the middle, tuck your chin, tuck your tail, engage your belly, curl the back a little bit. And that's the movement. It's very similar to what we were doing when we were lying down. It feels very different. Open on the inhale, and then cactus arms, squeeze and press towards the middle, tuck the tail, exhale. 2 more. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract the chest and the belly, tuck the tail. One more, open. And squeeze closed. Straighten the legs, arms by the sides, shake it out. And from here, nice and easy, just slide down the legs, come into Uttanasana. Hands could be on the shins or blocks or a chair seat. We'll hold the pose for maybe about 8 breaths. Feel free to move around if you want, or just stay still. You could pedal the knees or the feet. Swaying the torso, anything that feels beneficial. Three more breaths. Bend the knees slightly and inhale, slide the hands up towards the knees. Nice long spine. Exhale there. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, arms down by the sides. From here, step your feet wide apart, face the long edge of the mat. Allow the legs and the feet to turn out a comfortable amount. And then just bend and straighten the knees a couple of times to check your stance. Because as you bend and straighten your knees, it'll be apparent if you need to adjust yourself. So go with how it feels. And then pause with your straight knees once you have your position. Come out to your cactus arms. And then we're going to keep the cactus arms, but they're going to circle around. So with your straight knees, go ahead and lift the elbows and then bring them towards the middle. And then as you come down the middle, you bend the knees. And then as you open and you bring them up and around, you straighten the legs and then you bend them when you come down the middle. And do this a few more times. Nice and smooth. How close your hands and your elbows and your forearms get is different for everybody. One more this direction. If this arm movement isn't working for you, then pick something else. And then pause and go the other way. Straighten the knees, the arms come up the center. And then as you bend, they come down the sides. 3 more in this reverse direction with the arms. One more. Pause, straight legs, relax the arms on a downward angle, same angle as the legs. Take a couple breaths here. You take your left hand to the back of the neck if you can get it there comfortably. If it needs to be more on the back of the head, that's fine. And don't force your elbow to go to a position that's cranky on your shoulder. So let that left shoulder be relaxed. Inhale here. Exhale, bend both knees. Lean into the forearm with the thigh, and then the elbow reaches away from the hip. And then straighten the knee, come back up. Keep the hand where it is. Exhale as you bend. Lean left forearm to left thigh. Press the right elbow. No, that's your left elbow away from the head. Inhale up. 2 more times. Lean to the right. Press with the left elbow. 1 more. Come up. And we'll lean into it and hold. Bend both knees. Try to keep the weight fairly even in the center. And then reach, press the head slightly back. Notice where you're feeling it. Straighten, relax, take the arm down, give it a shake. And then let's do the other side. Right hand back of the head or back of the neck. Remember, don't push the head forward. Inhale here, exhale, bend both knees, lean to the left and press the right elbow away from the waist. Inhale, straighten knees, come up. Exhale, bend, lean to the left. Inhale up. 2 more, we'll hold on the second one. Bend and lean sideways. Come up. Last one, bend, lean sideways and hold. Don't hold your breath though. 2 more breaths. Straighten legs, come up, relax, step your feet in, and yeah, just kind of walk in place. Pause, couple breaths in mountain pose. Okay, for this next one, I'm going to use a chair. If you have a chair, the back of a chair is a great height for this one. Another thing you could use would be your hands on a wall if you don't have a chair. So if you're using a chair, place the chair towards the short end of the mat so that the top part of the back of the chair is facing towards you. So you're standing behind the back of the chair, probably a couple of feet away. And get your feet about as wide as the legs of the chair. Maybe not quite as wide as the legs of the chair, but apart somewhat. Bend both knees slightly. Take your left foot and step it back. Press down through the heel and straighten the right leg. Pause here for a moment. Make sure you can get the left heel down. Adjust your stance as needed. Bend both knees slightly. Lean forward and get your hands on the top of the back of the chair. You need to adjust where you're at. Please do so. And then from here, you're going to press both legs straight. And the buttocks are reaching and angling towards whatever's behind you. And the spine is nice and long, parallel to the floor. We'll do that 2 more times. Bend both knees slightly. Left heel might come up off the floor a little bit, and then re-straighten the legs. Reach the crown of the head towards the chair and the sit bones towards whatever's behind you. 1 more time. Bend both knees slightly. Straighten them both. Lengthen. Whole spine. Take a few breaths. Notice where the sensations are. What feels like it's opening, what's working and contracting and supporting. Start to bend both knees a little bit. Keep the hands on the back of the chair. Step the left foot forward. Release the hands off the chair. Pause for a moment. Again, feet landed about as wide as the legs of the chair, give or take. Pause for a couple breaths. Notice any difference between the 2 legs after having just done that on one side. Once again, bend both knees ever so slightly. Right foot steps back, stays more in line with that right leg of the chair. Straighten both legs. Pause here for a moment. Check your feet. Bend both knees, start to lean the torso forward on the front thigh and reach towards the top of the chair. And then slowly straighten the knees as much as you can. Again, the buttocks reach backwards, crown of the head reaches forwards, spine nice and long. We'll do that 2 more times. Bend the knees. Right heel can lift a little bit. Straighten the knees, lengthen in opposite directions. Bend again. Straighten again. Last time, bend. And then press them both straight and hold, or straight as they'll go. Both legs are pressing straight. The spine is lengthening parallel to the floor, or it might be higher than the floor. Four more breaths. Intense side stretch with the chair. And start to bend the knees a little bit, step the right foot forward, stand up, shake it out. You can stay behind the chair if you want. We're going to do another balance pose. I'm going to turn and face the camera so you can, we did something like this earlier. Step the feet closer together. Maybe start with the arms out in a T. You can always lower them if it's working for you. Lift the right heel, turn the right knee out, and then you're going to step the right foot behind the left foot and push down through the toes. We did this before with it crossed in front. So right leg crossed behind, press down. I'm not mirroring you on this one. If the balance seems fine, you could certainly lower the arms if you want. Or keeping them up works the arm muscles if you want to do that. The leg you're standing on, a little bit bent. Top of the head reaching towards the ceiling. Now you can stay here, or option 2, lift the right foot up off the floor a little bit, slide that kind of inner ankle against the back of the calf, and the back foot presses forward into the calf. Just gently. Couple more breaths. Okay, release that right foot down, shake out the legs. Feet close together. Other side, bend the left knee, turn the knee out, take the left foot, cross it behind and touch the toes down. And then breathing here. Leg that you're standing on, that's your right leg, little bit bent. Now you can either keep those left toes pressing into the floor or slide the foot a little bit up the calf of the front leg and take a few breaths, balancing more on just the right leg. Set those toes back on the floor at any point. One more breath. Relax. Put the feet down. Walk in place. Swing your arms. Okay, if you used a chair or anything that's in your space, go ahead and move it out of the way. We're going to be coming down to the floor, and you're going to want maybe 2 blankets. So just bring 2 with you just in case. And I'll show you a few options here. So open your blanket up so it looks something resembling this, then set it on the floor. And then either roll it or fold it. So if you fold it, it'll be a bit flatter. Okay, and if you roll it, it'll be thicker. So it just depends on your body as to which one might be more appropriate. And then once you get your long, narrow fold or roll, then this is going to go crosswise on your mat. And there's definitely some gray area in terms of where you end up having this underneath you. You might need the other blanket for behind the head. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit on your mat, bent knees, the blanket's crosswise behind you, and then you start to lower down, and you want to try that blanket somewhere below the shoulder blades, so that when you lie across it, your shoulder blades actually end up resting towards the floor, but the blanket is supporting your kind of mid ribs behind the heart area in a bit of an arched position. If it feels too thick, believe yourself, roll over, come up, unroll it somewhat, and try a different thickness, or try in a slightly different spot underneath your back. If your neck is tipping back and looking towards the wall behind you, then take a blanket and put a little bit of support underneath the back of the head, but not too much. And then the arms will be personal preference. You could have the elbows bent and rest the hands towards the ribs, belly area. You could have the arms out. You could do something like cactus arms, again, like we did in the beginning, if it feels comfortable. So it shouldn't be too intense here. You could keep the knees bent and just let the knees kind of fall together. You could straighten the legs if it feels okay. And we'll be here for about 2 minutes. Again, make sure it's comfortable. This is a supported chest opener, basically. Come out early or reposition yourself if you need to. Otherwise, it's about another 8 breaths or so here. Great pose to counteract if you sit a lot over a keyboard, or just with your arms in front and your shoulders and your head kind of hunched forward. This counteracts some of that tension and tightness pattern that can happen. Okay, now you're gonna come out of this supported chest opener position. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can roll to your side and scoot off of it, or you can sit up off of it. Personal preference. I'm a roller, so. And then you move that blanket out of the way. Make your way back down onto your back. Then hopefully your strap is still nearby. And we did half happy baby earlier, so we're going to use the strap for full happy baby. Draw the thighs towards the belly, stir up the feet. And then you slide the feet apart from one another. So feet are a little bit wider than the hips. And then you're holding onto the strap and you're pulling down. And then you'll press them up. They don't have to go all the way straight. And then you pull them down. And just do this a few times. And the hands might need to slide a little bit on the strap as you straighten and bend the knees. And then come into happy baby and hold it. Feel free to rock side to side if that feels good. And then bend the knees, release the strap. Hold on to the knees, do a few, let's say 4 circles in each direction. And circle the other way. Circles is just a nice way to massage that low back sacrum area before shavasana. Okay, get ready for shavasana. Utilizing any props you have handy. And get comfortable. Shake anything out, move anything around in order to let go of any tension, and then settle towards stillness. Maybe take a couple breaths in the nose and releasing the air out the mouth. One more breath like that. And now let yourself relax and settle. Relax the face and the jaw. Let the hands be soft. So you're not trying to keep the fingers straight or anything. Just soften the hands. Let them curl whatever amount's natural for your hands and fingers. And become aware of the body. Do some movement with the fingers and the wrists. And then do some movement down at the ankles and the toes. When you're ready to bend the knees, roll to your side. Support the head, pause sideline for a few breaths. Top hand just resting on the floor in front of your torso. And pressing down to sit up. Namaste.